Hi, this is Kerry Artek with Wicked Stocks, bringing you the daily Apple report for Friday, October 13th, 2023. Before I click through all the charts, as usual, just want to encourage you to please click like if you haven't already, share the content with friends and colleagues, become a WickedStocks.com a Wicked Stocks YouTube channel subscriber, and check out WickedStocks.com, where we offer a full suite of both daily and weekly analytical videos, just like the daily Apple report. Daily analysis in the SPY and the Triple Q, weekly analysis in the S&P 500, NASDAQ 100, the long bond ETF, the TLT, as well as 2 individual stock picks a week that you never see on YouTube that cater to the 3 to 5 week swing trader out to the 3 to 5 month near-term investor. Always looking for at least 20% moves on those stock picks. Just this week alone, Elevance Health and CrowdStrike. The previous week was McDonald's and what was it, UPS, and the prior to that was AMD and NVIDIA. You can check it all out for free, actually, by going to wickedstocks.com and signing up. You get a 5-day free trial up front with no obligation, and within 5 days, if you don't like what you see, you can bow out at no cost to you whatsoever. So check out wickedstocks.com. On with the charts. I'll start with the big picture, work my way into the day itself. We came off of targeted long-term support a few weeks ago, presently 166.07 to 167.49. This is an area that can absorb selling through next year, and above which 189.55 remains a 1 to 2 month target. We're actually now more in the 2 to 3 week time frame that I'll show in a moment. The 228.66 channel top expected by this point next year or sooner, and that sooner would come with a settlement above the 189.55 channel top. If we were to close above it over the next few weeks or the next month, we could see 228.66 by the end of the first quarter of next year, where we could top out through all of 24. But 167.49, big support, able to contain longer-term selling pressures. And just about a week ago, we settled above this meaningful support in the 172.98 to 173.32 area, able to absorb selling on a weekly basis. I don't expect to see that anytime soon. I'll get to that in a moment. And yet above which 2 to 3 week buy signal remains in effect, expecting 188.78 over the next 2 to 3 weeks. And in fact, it was a settlement clearly on Thursday above this extreme channel top that today is at 178.93, that should yield 188.78 inside of 2 weeks, possibly by the end of next week. And this gets to the day itself, 178.93, solid support that is backed up by a new 2-week channel bottom at 178.01. This area may well contain selling through all of next week. So not only can it contain session weakness, talking to day traders, but also through next week, talking to 3 to 5 day swing traders. In fact, I don't expect to see 172.98 unless we were to close below 178.01. So this is a solid zone. We could almost call this a 3-star support area. Just want you to know. And above which, we've got 182.91 today. That is a Fibonacci level to the upside. We came close to testing on Thursday. It can contain intraday, possibly daily buying pressures. If we close today above 182.91, we should see 185.64 on Monday, where we can place a daily high, possibly through all of next week. And in fact, if you look upper right, you can see how this band of resistance between 185.64 and 188.78 may well contain buying through November trade. From 188.78, as I mentioned earlier, or 189.55 on the weekly chart, we can fall all the way back perhaps into the upper 160s long-term support. But it is the 167.49 is the more significant, and as I mentioned earlier, above which 228.66 likely by this point next year. And if over the next few weeks we were to close above 189.55, we could see this within 3 to 5 months, 228.66. I'm going to jump back to this chart here and just stress that 178.01 to 178.93 is meaningful support, able to contain session weakness, and quite possibly through all of next week, and above which 188.78 remains a 1 to 2 week target. If, on the other hand, we break 178.01, 176.72 is likely intraday, and if we close below 178.01, that pivots the market south into next week. The next 3 to 5 days then likely to fall to 172.98 to 173.32, where we can bottom out, through next week. We can bottom out quite possibly into November trade From here, we can round back up into the upper 180s or upper 180s within 2 to 3, 3 to 5 weeks. In terms of whether we can anticipate a retest of 166.07 to 167.49, the answer to that is yes, if over the next, week or two, we were to settle below 172.98. And then we're just about 3 to 5 days away from retesting that long-term support area between 166.07 to 167.49. But all this downside, I don't see any of it even worth mentioning it unless we were to close today below 178.01. Until then, the 178.01 to 178.93 area, solid support, not only for the day, but through next week, above which the targeted 188.78 formation is likely over the next week or two. I don't think there's anything else that needs to be said. Please click like, share, subscribe, and check out wickedstocks.com. I'll be back Sunday afternoon with Monday's Apple Report, and you have a great weekend.